Hello everyone, welcome. What we are going to be discussing in this particular video would be to check and to write a program to check if a number is even or odd. Now, this program is fairly simple, so I would want to keep this video very short. Now, in mathematical terms, how do you decide if a given number is even or odd, right? So basically what we do is, so for example, 21 or not 21, let's say 31st. So when we divide this 30 by 2, so what happens is, in this particular case, we get 15. So for example, 15 and eventually so on, what will happen is you will get no remainder here. That is, it is perfectly divisible by 2. So in that case, we'll say that the number is even if the number is perfectly divisible by 2. Right? Now, same thing for 21, right? So if we divide 21 by 2, so in that case, we'll get 10 and then finally 20 and so on, whatever would be the steps. And then finally, we'll get 1 as a remainder. So which is why we'll say that the number is odd. So that's pretty basic, right? But obviously, how do you do these? So for example, coding has mathematical operators of plus, minus, divide, multiply, right? But there's an additional operator called as modulus or percentage or remainder operator. You can call it by any name, right? Either modulus, percentage. Generally, people call it percentage because symbol looks like percentage, and remainder operator. So what it does is simply, if you write in terms of coding, that is 21 percentage 2. So it will give you the remainder value. So in that case, it will give the remainder as 1. So as I've mentioned here. Same thing. Let's say if I write 30 percentage 2. So this would give me remainder, that in that case, the remainder is 0. It will not divide the number. It will just give you the remainder value of it. Now, let's say if there would have been another scenario. So let's say if I would have done 23 percentage 5. So in that case, it would have given me 3 as a remainder. So this is the remainder operator or modulus operator. So we can use the same thing in the same way in terms of coding. The logic of this goes by like, so uh, you do, that is, you write an if statement as I've mentioned here, and let's say the number that is there in question or the variable that you created is that value is 20. So you just simply write that, okay, this num value is 20. So which is why you're writing 20 percentage 2. So in that case, what would happen is 20 percentage 2, this would get result to 0. Now, is this values, whatever has been returned by this, is this equal to 0? Yes, it is. So, true. So, in that case, we will be going ahead and printing even. However, in the case of, let's say, if the num value or the variable that you created num, let's say if its value was 31. So, what would happen again? 31 percentage 2. What would this be returning? This would be returning 1. Now, is 1 equal to 0? No, it's not. So this particular statement would return false. And then, which is why we'll be printing odd somehow in the code. And you'll have a look upon the code, you'll understand. Fairly easy. So let's have a look upon the code. It's also simple again. So here IOStream, std, int, main, etc. Here we've created the variable. Here we are giving the user a prompt to enter the number, and then as you can see, the user is now entering number using CNC out statement, right? So here we've entered 40 as you can see. So what would happen? This 40 value will get stored in this. Same thing if number percentage 2 equal to 0. So if 40 percentage 2 equal to 0. So what would happen? This particular value would 40 percentage 2 would be 0. Correct? Is 0 equal to 0? True. So which is why we'll be printing this particular statement, right? You can also write bracket open, bracket close also here if you like. So for example, let's say I can write this as bracket open and then bracket close. But since there's only one line, I hope all of you know this. So if there's just one line in if and else statement, so we can remove those brackets. That's perfectly fine for us, right? Now again, let's say if the value, if the user would have entered, let's say 7. So in that case, same thing would have happened. That is 7 percentage 2, the value of that would be 1. Is obviously, because 1 would be the remainder in that case, is 1 equal to 0? False. So which is why this part of the statement will not get executed. We'll go to the else part and simply we'll just go ahead and say that, okay, print that cout number is odd. So it will say 40 is odd. So as you can see, I've just also kind of printed the thing here. Now, one more thing here is, so for example, there are multiple methods. So one of the methods, as you can see, there are three methods. One is brute force, one is using ternary operator, one is using bitwise operator. You can find this particular code in the Prep and Start top 100 code section here, odd and even. And then finally, there are multiple methods. For example, ternary operator we've explained here. What ternary operator does is reduces the number of line of if else statements, which is 4 and 5 by the way here, to just one single line and does the same thing. So I recommend you to check this particular code on this website. And also there's one more method called as bitwise operator. I also recommend you to check that. This would be a little difficult for you right now, but if you understand it, then it's fine. If you don't, you can ignore this. But to be honest, it's a little advanced for you for the time being. Right, so that's pretty much about it. I'll see you up ahead in the next video. Thank you.
So we just launched Prep Insta Prime subscription, which is like 150 plus courses under one subscription. So it has courses like C, C++, Java, Python, artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybersecurity, data structures, competitive coding, even company specific courses like TCS, NQT, Infosys, TCS Digital, Amazon, etc. The link is in the description of the video. Go check that out. I'm sure that you'll love that.